Welcome back to Lightcraft Academy. It's a little bit surreal that I am sitting in a beautiful Nantucket Island / Cape Cod cottage interior, probably not so much a cottage, while in real life I'm sitting in my cottage interior, but in front of a wrinkled green screen, as I always like to say, back in Cape Cod en route to Wales, where I'll be doing some jet set over there working with young people. And that sort of brings me to my topic this week. I have been working for the last 3 weeks on a film about AI. We're going to be teaching the young people in Wales about AI and the ethics of using AI in journalism versus using AI in fiction filmmaking. And I have created a goal to produce the most photorealistic, real-life AI that I possibly could to teach the Welsh students how you can actually integrate AI into legitimate filmmaking. Also with an emphasis on performative AI, where the students are doing the acting, but the AI puts them in different time and place and costume. And that brings me to this lesson. What I learned while I was creating this content in AI, that it's all about the prompting. And when you consider that every time you generate an image, particularly video, image to video, it's expensive and it adds up. And if you're going to have one successful render out of 10 because your prompt writing was weak, that can be costly. And so I have explored, and I'm not the first to do this obviously, but I've explored using ChatGPT to give me a head start. My workflow, however, is to find an actual real life environment and then feed that into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to analyze the environment. And this will all make sense in a moment. And then create a prompt specific to the AI. If I'm using VO3, I'll ask it for a VO3 style AI. VO3 is the new incredible Google generative AI. So let me go to VoiceOver and I'll walk you through how I designed this set using that exact method, starting off with a real image, and then taking it through ChatGPT, Midjourney, Photoshop, and then on the air in Jetset. So let me work on that. Let's go to VoiceOver and I'll explain how that happened. So how do we get to this final scene? A beautiful home interior, something you might find on Nantucket Island off the coast of Massachusetts. The answer is by using some really powerful tools that allow us to be creative, but perhaps with a helping hand with some of that heavy lifting. Here's my workflow for the set that we're using today. I began by looking for images of rural Cape Cod / Nantucket Island living room interiors. I found one that I liked, and this is where the process gets really fun. I hopped over to ChatGPT and dropped my real interior picture into the ChatGPT chat box, and I asked it to analyze the image and create a Midjourney style prompt to replicate that image. With that ChatGPT prompt, I went over to Midjourney and ran a couple of renders. Each time I was presented with 4 options. Choosing the one that I like best, I widened and zoomed out 2 times to give us some room when that image is imported into Jetset. The wide angle look is minimized back in Jetset as the app will zoom in a bit if you want some motion in our virtual production. 2 more steps. One is to upscale the image to 4K or at least 1080, and I use Gigapixel to accomplish this task. And then in a Photoshop, we begin some serious interior decorating. Out with that fireplace. It's summer on the Cape, or at least we don't need that roaring fire. I move the couch out of the room to give myself some workspace once I bring the set to life in Jetset, and I got rid of a rug or 2. Now we have a final set inspired by ChatGPT, created in Midjourney, and ultimately personalized in Photoshop. We have successfully used a bunch of tools to create this beautiful interior. And we are back creating good quality, high quality, descriptive prompts is really the secret to getting the kind of quality that we're getting in the sets here, where the AI just does a great job adding in some of those terms and some of those descriptors that we may not think to do ourselves as we're writing our own prompt just from the top of our head. So definitely this was a win. I hope this was helpful. I look forward to seeing you again in just a few days from here on Cape Cod. Take care. Thanks for watching.